Good day, podcast community. I'm Pete Kane, Podcast Pete. I'm here with something really important to me, and I hope I can share a lesson with y'all. All right, why flow and movement is in your business is important. Three lessons I learned. You have to know where the future is going. I'm going to go back to a story. 3 years ago, I had a stroke. I was 10 days at Wellstar, and then I went to Heaven on Earth, which was Shepherd. My first night was last night, 3 years ago. I woke up this morning 3 years ago, the happiest person I could ever be, considering the circumstances. Why? Because for 12 days, my system had backed up. After a stroke, your internal organs get messed up. They don't function properly. Let's just say the plumbing doesn't work. So, Super Bowl, the best Super Bowl around with two iconic quarterbacks, Joe Burrows and Tom Brady, was playing, and I was in the worst pain I've ever been in my life. If people say that guys can't have babies, we can't, but we can feel the pain of one. And I felt the pain of a birth inside of me that couldn't come out. And it was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. But that morning, 3 years ago, I was the happiest guy you could ever see. I had a big smile on my face. The nurse came in and she said, "Man, you're happy because this is the first night I'm in Shepherd. You don't have a left side. You're trying to figure out this new life, but you're happy." And she said, "Why are you so happy?" And I said, "Well, my happiness is not yours." And she said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Well, can you imagine 10 plus days have gone through me and are in my diaper?" And she said, "That's no big deal. That happens. Hey, look, I'm just kind of embarrassed, but hey, it is what it is." And she was just as nice as she could be. And the reason I tell you that story is flow in your business. Today, everything is changing. I mean, everything. What you did a couple years ago don't work anymore. The future is in podcasting, publishing, and building communities. And if you want to be a guest on my podcast to experience what it's like and create a digital asset that will be out there in your name, and if you're not creating digital assets, you don't have flow in your business. If you're not publishing, you're not creating assets. If you're not building a community, you're not leveraging the beauty of a community. You're not being a part of a community that I guess you can say everybody's on the same page and going in the same direction. That's why we do podcasting, publishing, and build, thriving communities locally and globally through our ecosystem, which is our masterclass. So if your business is just, what do you call it? At a stoplight, you can't get going. You're on the busy bus. You're distracted by things. You don't know where to go. You're just kind of like stuck. Like I was stuck after 10 plus days. And you're feeling that pain of not really knowing what the future is like. Come on and get on my podcast. We'll talk about your story. Go to petekane.me and take an assessment. I got to know about you. I got to understand you to have an effective podcast. See, when you create an asset, like a digital asset, you're thinking the future. You're understanding the future. And the last lesson is this recent election we just finished. There was a big lesson. There always is in our presidential elections. One believed in transparency, was on podcast 40 hours. One was not. Tried to control it. Wanted the questions submitted ahead of time, limited amount of time, so you can't get to know her. One won, one lost. Now, in your business, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or somewhere in the middle, it doesn't matter. The future is the future. And if you don't embrace the digital nature of the future, you're going to get stuck. And sometimes you'll get left behind. So get on my podcast and I'll give you my podcast. I'll give you my masterclass. Go pk.me/masterclass, my gift to you. Okay. Be bold, make an impact, and have fun.